just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. What does it take for to see the man behind the 10 and fight for me? I'm just Ken and I am tough and I'm great at doing stuff. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. And no, we're not taking a look at Barbie. We've already done that. We're taking a look at another Ryan Gosling special. It is Fall Guy, a new movie which has taken the world by storm, and it is available now at cinemas, so you can go watch it for yourself. It is longer than I expected, with 2 hours and 4 minutes of film time. That is way longer than I thought this movie would be. I thought it was going to be a short one, but no, it's a good chunky 2 hours. So it's a long ass watch, but it is available in cinemas, so you can go and see it. Go support your local cinema. Go pay to see this. Go give them your monies, and yeah. Let's get into what Google has to say. So it is a 2024 action comedy, which is 2 hours and 5 minutes, and it is called The Fall Guy. And it has a 7.2 out of 10 IMDb and 82% out of Rotten Tomatoes. So it's a pretty decent movie according to those guys. But after leaving the business 1 year earlier, battle-scarred stuntman Colt Severs springs back into action when the star of a big studio movie suddenly disappears. As the mystery surrounding the missing actor deepens, Colt soon finds himself ensnared in a sinister plot that pushes him to the edge of a fall more dangerous than any stunt. Whoa, that's very mysterious and dark. But no, we're gonna get into the actual plot of the movie. We're gonna talk about it step by step of the way, so you get a little bit of understanding what's going on for when I talk about things and reference things in the future. So how this movie starts off is Colt is working on a movie. He's chatting up. He's rizzing up. He's got that fucking W Riz. He's rizzing up the camera woman, and he goes to perform a stunt, and he breaks his back. Simple. The stunt goes wrong and he breaks his back. So he takes a year off and he cuts everyone out of his life. He stops talking to people and he doesn't want to become a stuntman again until the camera woman is actually becoming a director and sort of making her own movie, and she requested him. So that's what made him come back. And when he comes back, she doesn't actually want him, and there's a little bit of tension, and she basically just keeps hurting him, keeps making him redo the stunts over and over again to sort of make him feel the pain that she felt when he just disappeared, and a little bit of a revenge thing. But they start building up the relationship again, start sort of getting close together, and then the manager above the director tells a little bit of secret that the main star is missing, and they need to find them. They need to go and find him. So they send Colt because he's a stuntman. He's easy to blend in. No one will notice if he's even there, if he isn't. So he goes to the hotel. He gets in, and he sees a dead body. He gets drugged, and he ends up sort of, you know, going on this wild goose chase, trying to find out the killer or trying to find out what's happening, why he's missing. And he gets the phone, and he gets kidnapped in getting this phone, and he fights on a garbage truck, which looks fucking awesome as shit. And he sort of continues off on his journey, and he gets captured, he gets kidnapped, and he's gonna be blown up, and then he fakes his death, and then he tells the director that he's not actually dead, he didn't actually murder that person, he's being framed for it, and they do a big elaborate plot to get him to convince and openly admit what he did in this sort of movie setting. And that's the movie. Basically, long and short, quick run through the movie. I do recommend you go watch this movie. It was way better than I expected it to be. It is one of the better movies that I have watched this year, and that is saying something because I've watched a load of shitty movies. So the action sequences are really fucking cool. Like, seeing him film these stunts, seeing him sort of do these real life stunts is absolutely insane. Because he's a stuntman. Doesn't mean he should know how to fight or sort of actually do any of this in real life. He can fake doing it, but doesn't mean he actually could do it for real if the stakes were official, but he manages to. And to be fair, I feel like being the stuntman gives you a little bit of aspect of what it's like to do it real, but again without the safety procedures and like the safety measures in place. So it is all very dangerous. It is all high stakes. His sort of life is on the line, and it looks absolutely insane. It looks so cool. The action sequences are cool, and he's a good character. You can't help but root for him. He was a bit of an asshole for shutting everyone out, but you can see why he did it. It is understandable. It's a natural human response where he's like sort of depressed, miserable, shutting everyone out, pushing everyone away, sort of trying to do stuff on his own. It is understandable. It is sort of seen everywhere and is a common sort of feeling. But he gets back on his feet. He gets the girl of his dreams because he gets with a girl at the end. And I felt awful for the director. I felt awful for Emily Blunt because they made her emotions fucking flip flop. They flip flop with her emotions by telling her Colt left, so he abandoned her again. Telling her Colt's, he's still here. Telling her Colt is dead. Telling her Colt is alive. Telling her that Colt is being framed. Telling her that Colt is a murderer. It is like a flip flop of emotions. Her emotions must be all over the place. She must not know what to believe or what the fuck is going on because she's always being told one thing or another by a different person, and it's sending her emotions through the fucking roof. Because that's a lot of shit. If someone you like is leaving you, is missing, is dead, is framed for murder, is a murderer. That's a lot of shit. That's a lot of dangerous shit that he's doing or getting himself into. And the music for this movie was so fucking perfect. The music was so good. The music was like iconic, and it was like the main sort of song for this movie was "I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me tonight," and that was like playing through all the fucking action sequences and all like the massive stunts, and it was so fucking cool because they had the slow mo. It had the sort of cool aspects of like the explosions in the background, and he even did like the sort of cool exit where he stuck wands up and like just fell out of a fucking helicopter. His stunts were fucking insane. His real stunts, his plans, although they were fucking way over complicated and way too extravagant and way too over the top, they still looked badass. They looked cool as fuck that he managed to pull it off. He was swinging off cameras, he was jumping onto sort of helicopters, he was holding on, doing pull-ups on a bar coming off of a car. That it was just he's just Ken, and he's fucking incredible. I fucking loved this movie. It was so fucking cool to see all these different action sequences and the love story between them sort of bloom and then crumble and then bloom again. And to be fair, Emily Blunt's character was kind of boring. I'm gonna be honest, she was just a director and she was just kind of there to be like a love interest for Ryan Gosling, and there wasn't much else going on. But there was some cool sequences where it's like, hey, I was thinking about doing like a split screen, and then like a split screen came on where they were talking to each other, but they were doing very similar things instead of doing contrasting things. What they were talking about. So there is a lot of cool stuff going on there because they were like sort of talking about how were like wanted to do a split screen to show the contrasting characters to show how divided they are. But in talking about that, there was a split screen, but they were doing very similar things, so it showed how close they actually were and how similar they were, so they could end up getting back together, and it just provided hope for the audience. And I thought that all of that was just so cool in like the imagery and the way it contrasted with what they were talking about. And the use of a unicorn, I'm not sure if this had anything to do with Emily Blunt's character in If, Imaginary Friend movie, because she plays a unicorn in that. So I'm not sure if like the unicorns had any connection to this movie, or if it was just like a little Easter egg or a little teaser or a little this, that, and the other. I don't know. I just know that there was unicorns in it, and Emily Blunt plays the unicorn in her new upcoming movie coming out in literally a month's time called If not out already. So it is a little weird that there is Emily Blunt with a unicorn in two movies coming out within 1 month apart. Just saying, just saying. And the costume design was really cool as well for this movie, with all the different sort of space cowboys and shit, and the sort of Ryan Gosling's just normal attire. I thought they were all really cool. But I want to watch that movie she was making. That Jason Momoa movie was really fucking cool, and I think it'll be a really cool fucking movie if they decide to actually put that movie out there. If they actually do decide to make that movie, it would be a really cool idea to have this movie that Emily Blunt made during this movie be a real movie that we could go and watch, because then it's like that the it just makes this movie even more real and real, even more true to the fact of stunt people, and I just think it's awesome. I just think it's cool. That'd be a cool aspect, a cool idea. I don't know. This movie's way better than I expected. I didn't expect it to be as good as what it is, and it is genuinely such a good time. It's funny. It has you on the edge of your seat. It has you sort of gripping. It didn't have me crying. There's no sort of like, sort of, oh, they got together, crying, happy, joyous moment. None of that shit. I was just happy for them. So this movie is like a 9 out of 10. It's just a straight 9 out of 10 because it does have its little bit of flaws, but it is still a good movie, and I think it's better than what you know, IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes is giving it. It deserves a lot more credit than what it's getting given. So other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and bye bye.